Drake thought he was untouchable, until Kendrick Lamar lit the match that's now burning everything he built to the ground. It's the champagne lifestyle. Shattered the OVO empire. Cracking at the seams, and Drake himself scrambling to hold on to the last threads of his crown while Kendrick pulls every string behind the scenes. But this isn't just a diss track war anymore. This is career assassination, calculated and cold-blooded. Because what Kendrick unleashed wasn't just lyrical smoke, it was a blueprint to systematically dismantle the image, the respect, and the empire Drake spent 15 years building. And while Drake was busy curating vibes on stage, Kendrick was backstage flipping switches, exposing receipts, and recruiting an army of allies that no one, not even Drake, saw coming. But the scariest part? This is just the beginning. From secret meetings with Drake's former allies, to shocking leaks that shook the music industry to its core, Kendrick's quiet storm has officially gone nuclear. And now, insiders are saying Drake's downfall has already started, and it might be too late to stop it. So how exactly is Kendrick Lamar destroying Drake's career? Buckle up, because once you hear this, there's no going back. The war between Kendrick Lamar and Drake didn't start on Instagram. It didn't start with a diss track. It didn't even start in the public eye. This was personal. And it started years ago. Long before Control, long before The Heart Part 5, and way before Kendrick hijacked the culture in 2024. Let's rewind the clock to the early 2010s. When Drake was the undisputed king of commercial hip-hop, he had it all. The numbers, the charts, the headlines. Every major artist wanted a feature. Every radio station played his hits back to back. And the industry bowed to his every move. Meanwhile, Kendrick Lamar, though critically acclaimed, was still seen as the underground conscious rapper. A Compton poet with bars, but not the mainstream force. Drake knew Kendrick had talent, but what he didn't know was that Kendrick was watching everything, calculating, waiting, preparing. And then came the first shift. Control. Kendrick's verse sent a seismic wave through the hip-hop landscape. Calling out Drake by name wasn't just a flex, it was a declaration of intent. Kendrick wasn't playing sidekick. He wasn't here to be Drake's peer. He was coming for the throne. At first, Drake laughed it off. Interviews, passive jabs, ignored questions. He played the bigger man publicly, but behind the scenes, it cut deep. Insiders now claim that after Control, Drake quietly began telling his inner circle to watch Kendrick. And over the next few years, Drake did everything in his power to block Kendrick from reaching his level and make sure the spotlight never left OVO. Collaborations. Ghosted awards, snubbed industry execs, whispered warnings. When Kendrick submitted to Pimp a Butterfly, one A&R source claims Drake privately called the album too smart for the average listener, pushing the narrative that Kendrick was for critics, not fans. Another insider says Drake even lobbied against Kendrick being on a certain Apple Music campaign in 2016, preferring Travis Scott or Future in his place. But Kendrick wasn't fazed. He just went silent, patient, calculating, waiting for the right moment to strike. And that moment came in 2023. It started with subtle moves. Kendrick left TDE, launched PG Lang with Dave Free. And while the industry thought it was just a business shift, it was actually a strategic reset. Kendrick wasn't just making music anymore. He was building a movement. Then came the Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers tour, a theatrical, soul-bearing masterpiece that redefined live hip-hop shows. It didn't just outperform Drake's tours in critical reviews, it sparked global conversations, and it was during this tour that fans noticed something eerie. Kendrick stopped acknowledging Drake entirely. No tweets, no references, no subtle bars. Nothing. Complete blackout. That silence. It wasn't peace. It was preparation, because behind the scenes, Kendrick was working, plotting, recruiting. Insiders now confirm that. Kendrick and J. Cole held a series of private summits in Los Angeles in mid-2023, bringing together artists, journalists, producers, and even influencers who had quietly grown tired of Drake's dominance. These weren't just casual dinners, they were strategy meetings, and the mission: take the power back from Drake, piece by piece. The first real crack came with Metro Boomin, a close associate of Drake's early on. Metro shocked fans when he unfollowed Drake on Instagram in late 2023. At the time, fans thought it was petty. Now, it was a warning shot, because Metro was about to become Kendrick's sonic assassin. Fast forward to early 2024, and Kendrick drops a single line in Baby Keem's freestyle that changes everything. Some crowns were inherited. Some of us had to kill for hours. The internet went insane. Blogs exploded. YouTube theorists dug in. Everyone knew exactly who that was for, and it was only the beginning. Within weeks, the beef escalated from subliminals to full-on lyrical warfare. And while Drake responded with finesse, charisma, and quotables, Kendrick hit harder. Every line cut deeper. Every reference was surgical. And just when fans thought the back and forth had peaked, Kendrick disappeared again. No tweets. Number? Songs, no sightings. But what he left behind was chaos and a growing list of allies who were now openly distancing themselves from Drake. Tyler, the Creator, suddenly praising Kendrick's pen. SZA, spotted in Compton with PG Lang insiders. Rihanna, posting cryptic stories the same day Kendrick dropped a bombshell verse. Lil Baby, no longer liking Drake's posts. Even The Weeknd quietly unfollowed OVO accounts. The empire was crumbling. And Drake hadn't even realized the war had gone spiritual, because Kendrick wasn't just battling bars, he was dismantling the myth of Drake's authenticity, and that's what hurts the most. Because in this business, image is everything. And Kendrick was peeling back every layer of the persona Drake had spent years crafting. Not just the music, but the man. And what Kendrick was about to do next would make the rap world question everything they believed about Drake. And trust me, you're not ready for what happens in part 3. This is where the drama goes. Nuclear secrets spill. Friendships implode. The industry starts choosing sides. ... It started with a private phone call. One insider, an engineer who had worked with both Kendrick and Drake, leaked that Kendrick had been sitting on a vault of unheard content. But this wasn't just music. It was evidence. Screenshots, voicemails, even studio footage that could destroy the illusion of who Drake really is behind closed doors. And according to this engineer, Kendrick didn't plan to just diss Drake. He planned to expose him. That moment arrived when Kendrick dropped a surprise audio-only track titled "The Crown Ain't Yours." No cover, no promo, no warning, and within 60 seconds, everything changed. The beat, bone dry, the tone unbothered. And Kendrick's first line: "You made billions off being broken. I made classics off being silent. And your ghostwriters, they left the studio crying." Social media exploded. Within minutes, #CrownAINT trended #1 globally. Fans immediately started breaking down the lyrics, trying to decipher the hidden messages, and that's when they heard it, in the second verse. Kendrick mimicked Drake's flow, bar for bar, then followed it with this dagger: "You mimicked my pain and bottled it up. Sold it to girls who wanted love, but real ones know you been a bluff." People lost their minds. Noah 40 Shabib, Drake's longtime producer, posts a black square. No caption, just silence. This was the man who stood by Drake through every album, every scandal, every viral moment. But now, rumors began swirling that 40 was done. Industry. Insiders claimed 40 had a meltdown in the studio after hearing Kendrick's leaked recordings. He allegedly told close friends that Drake had changed and that the mask was slipping too far. Just 48 hours later, 40's management team was spotted meeting with PG Lang's business reps. Coincidence? The internet didn't think so. But Kendrick wasn't done, because now he was going after Drake's allies one by one. Next up, Jack Harlow. Kendrick posted a blurry video on his Instagram story, just 5 seconds long. It showed a man who looked suspiciously like Jack in the studio with Kendrick's team. The caption, "Switches get pulled in silence." Fans freaked out. Drake had publicly endorsed Jack as the future, but Kendrick had just hinted that he'd flipped Jack behind Drake's back. It got worse. Jack Harlow posted a cryptic story 12 hours later. Hard truth beats soft lies. Always has. And unfollowed Drake. That same night, Kendrick tweeted a single chess emoji. Drake, still silent, finally broke his silence at a private, OVO-hosted party in Miami. TMZ leaked grainy footage of Drake on stage, clearly intoxicated, saying, "You ever give somebody your hand and they bite the whole arm off? I built a table and these dudes still starve at it. Watch how I flip this." But the crowd didn't cheer. They looked uneasy. The vibe was off. Even some of Drake's entourage were reportedly caught leaving the party early, including Party Next Door and Baca, Not Nice. And the final nail of Part 3. A leaked security video hit the net. It showed Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole sitting in the back of a private lounge in Toronto, with Chubbs, Drake's right-hand man. The same Chubbs who's been publicly writing for Drake since day one. No audio, just visuals, but enough to ignite an inferno. Reddit threads lit up with theories. Some claimed Chubbs was playing double agent. Others swore this meant Kendrick had infiltrated the heart of OVO. But what no one expected was that just 2 days later, Chubbs' brother posted and deleted this jaw-dropping tweet. "Sometimes loyalty gets you chained to a sinking ship. Choose peace." And that was it. The Drake ship was no longer sailing steady. It was tilting fast, because Kendrick wasn't battling from below. He wasn't reaching for Drake's throne. He had already flipped the entire kingdom, and as rumors of a Kendrick x J. Cole joint album began leaking, one question echoed across the culture: is Drake finished? Or is this just the beginning of his biggest comeback yet? But what came next made fans forget everything they thought they knew, because the next twist was personal, and it would change the game forever. The fire just got gasoline poured on it. Major betrayals, exposed secrets, and a pop queen's move that changes everything. If Kendrick Lamar's war on Drake was once lyrical, it's now strategic warfare, a coordinated takedown hitting Drake from all angles, personal, professional, and now corporate, while the internet was still melting down over Chubb's secret meeting with Kendrick and J. Cole. Insiders dropped a confidential leak that blew the lid off everything. Drake's Universal Records contract had a loyalty clause, and Kendrick had been weaponizing it, according to a whistleblower within the label. Kendrick had quietly partnered with a group of powerful executives, including one who formerly worked for OVO, to leak portions of Drake's contract to influential producers and artists. Why? Because that loyalty clause allegedly revealed that Drake retained creative veto power over certain artists signed under his own label, Umbrella. Meaning, someone like Parton Exter or Majid Jordan wanted to collab with Kendrick, Drake could shut it down, and Kendrick was done playing nice. One source from PG Lang told an underground podcast, Kendrick didn't just want to win on the charts. He wanted to expose the strings Drake was pulling to control the industry narrative, and it worked. Suddenly, artists started speaking up, subtly. Party Nexter liked a fan post that read, free him from the OVO cage. A now-deleted tweet from a songwriter said, "Drake's contract is a trap. That's why the real ones dip." Even Brent Fies, who'd long stayed neutral, posted a blurry video of Kendrick in the studio with the caption, "It's time." The internet couldn't breathe. And then Taylor Swift stepped in. Yes, Taylor, the biggest global pop artist on the planet, just days after Kendrick's Crown Ain't Yours ignited a global firestorm. Taylor Swift posted an Instagram carousel from her private listening party for an upcoming collab project. One of the tagged guests, none other than Kendrick Lamar. But wait, the plot twists again because fans immediately noticed that Drake was no longer following Taylor Swift on any platform, and the icing on the betrayal cake. One Swiftie fan account posted this unhinged caption that went viral. Taylor invited Kendrick to the private folklore cabin. If you know, you know. Drake is done. Overnight, hashtag folklore factions started trending. A viral hashtag combining Swifties and Kendrick fans who had now united against Drake. And Drake. Silent. Again. Insiders say that OVO's inner circle was in panic mode. Screenshots from private Telegram groups allegedly from industry insiders revealed that Drake's team was preparing for reputation damage control. A crisis team was formed. Lawyers were activated. Calls were made to streaming platforms to review potential targeted campaigns against Drake's catalog. But while Drake scrambled behind the scenes, Kendrick was coordinating in plain sight. Because just when the industry thought the story couldn't get any more explosive, Kendrick dropped a video teaser titled simply, "The Real Interview," 15 seconds long, black and white. Static noise, but here's what shook the internet. The teaser opens with the sound of a woman's voice, allegedly Sophie Brasso, Drake's ex and the mother of his child, whispering, "He told me if I ever spoke to the media, the money stops." And then, boom. Screen cuts to black, no credits, no logos. Just this message: if he's real, he'll respond. Fans went feral. Some believed it was AI, others were convinced it was real. But the chaos had officially reached a new level. What was the real interview? Was Kendrick about to release a full documentary on Drake's private life? Was Sophie involved? And why was everyone in the industry acting like it was real? Because the very next day, Drake canceled a press appearance. A live stream was abruptly pulled, and Adonis' IG page, yes, even his son, was temporarily deactivated. And then the final twist of Part 4, a mysterious Dropbox link started circulating in Discord servers, Reddit threads, and private hip-hop forums, titled, "The Vault Do Not Share." Inside, alleged references to ghost-written Drake verses with timestamps and voice overlays, studio engineers testifying to reference, track swaps, deleted DMs between Drake and an unknown artist suggesting career sabotage. Some fans dismissed it, but many believed it, especially after a now-deleted IG story from Rick Rubin. Yes, the legendary producer showed a cryptic screenshot of a folder labeled K vs. A, the final cut. Wait, K vs. A, as in Kendrick versus Aubrey Graham. What? Was it? The gloves were off, and just as Kendrick had done with the industry, he was now playing chess with the public. And what made it all even more terrifying? The message from Kendrick's manager, Dave Free, on X. "This was never about music. It's about cleansing. Stay tuned." Fans were now split. Some believe even Reddit got pulled into the drama. The Hippoped subreddit implemented a 48-hour Drake versus Kendrick mega thread lockdown, citing mental health concerns due to the level of obsession, doxing, and digital warfare happening in the community. But the real chaos started when celebrities began choosing sides publicly. Charlamagne Tha God went live on The Breakfast Club and dropped the bomb: Drake's crown. Kendrick melted it down and turned it into bullets. That man has precision. I haven't seen a takedown this calculated since Nas Ether, and even that was personal. Of Kendrick's playing generational chess. Drake fans went ballistic flooding Charlamagne's mentions with snake emojis and crying face memes. But Charlamagne doubled down, later tweeting, "I stand by what I said, y'all will too." In a year, Joe Budden, never one to stay silent, took a 2-hour podcast detour roasting Drake's silence. This man built an empire of feelings, and now he's ghost when it's time to feel something real. Kendrick handed you receipts, a subpoena, and a shovel, and you still ain't digging. Meanwhile, J. Cole broke his silence in a subtle but powerful move. He posted a single picture on Instagram, a chessboard mid-game with one Black King tipped over. No caption. Fans interpreted it immediately. Cole picked a side. That's Drake's king lying there. It's over. But that wasn't even the loudest noise, because Sessa, who'd had ties to both men, shocked everyone by going live on Instagram and in front of 200,000 viewers. She said this, "I love both artists, but I stand with truth. Kendrick doesn't need to be loud to be lethal. He's just surgical. And sometimes things fall apart so better things can grow." Boom. Internet detonation. Fans dissected every word. Memes spread like wildfire. One viral clip mashed her words over Kendrick's diss track and got 3.8 million views in 2 hours. And then came the industry heavyweights. Jay-Z reposted Kendrick's teaser video with a comment, "There's levels to this." Nas simply tweeted, "Real, recognize real." Eminem shocked the world when he liked a comment saying, "Kendrick is doing to Drake what M did to Benzino, but with strategy." Suddenly, it became clear this wasn't just about two rappers. This was legacy versus longevity, substance vs spectacle, respect versus relevance. But not everyone was Kendrick's cheerleader. DJ Khaled, a longtime Drake collaborator, went off in a now-deleted video. "You can't tear down greatness, no matter how many fake leaks you drop. Drake gave us anthems. Anthems, respect the journey." Fans weren't having it. Within hours, #WeTiredKhaled was trending, and memes of him yelling while Kendrick's calm face stared back flooded TikTok. Meanwhile, OVO diehards launched an all-out defense campaign. Superfans created a 12-part YouTube documentary called The Real Drake, Uncancelled. Influencers began analyzing Kendrick's bars for inconsistencies. Drake's cousin even posted a story saying, "Don't believe the noise, this is all jealousy in disguise." But their defense was crumbling fast. Because Kendrick's allies, they were coordinated. Kendrick's official PG Long account started resharing fan videos, reposting old interviews where Drake contradicted himself, and even hinting at a PG Long Expos documentary coming soon. And then came the cultural bombshell. Saturday Night Live aired a surprise cold open, spoofing Drake's silence with a fake press conference titled, "Where in the World is Aubrey Graham?" The skit showed a fake Drake hiding under a table, dodging questions, while a Kendrick lookalike calmly sipped tea in the front row. The audience roared. Even Drake stans had to admit the narrative was slipping away, and just when it seemed it couldn't get worse, Spotify quietly updated Drake's artist bio, previously titled Hip-Hop's Emotional Giant. It now simply read, "Canadian rapper, singer, and songwriter." Fans noticed immediately. Conspiracy theories exploded. Did Kendrick pressure Spotify? Is the industry unwriting Drake's legacy in real time? What if this was the plan all along? The walls were closing in, and one thing was now undeniable. Kendrick Lamar didn't just fire shots, he pulled every string. And the world was responding. But the wildest part? Drake hadn't responded with a single song. He was either plotting his comeback or watching his legacy crumble in real time. And then mysterious flyer hit the streets of LA. Plain white poster, no logo, just one sentence. August 25th. Final hour. Kendrick. Nobody knew what it meant, but everyone agreed on one thing: whatever Kendrick does next could be career-ending, not just for Drake, but for anyone who stands in his way. You thought it couldn't go any further? Think again. Kendrick's final move sends shockwaves across the globe. But the scariest part? Still not over. August 25th finally arrived. The day printed on those cryptic flyers. The day fans and insiders had been counting down to like it was doomsday. And in typical Kendrick fashion, nothing happened all day. No post, no tweet, no track, no live, nothing. Even the most loyal fans started sweating. Was it a hoax? A distraction? Another mind game? And then, 11:58 p.m. PST, PG Long's YouTube channel uploaded a video titled 11th Hour. The audio file? Runtime? 7 minutes. No thumbnail. No tags. Within seconds, over 500,000 people clicked in, and what they heard wasn't music. It was a phone call. A real phone call, or at least what sounded like one. Between Drake and a mystery woman. The voices were muffled but clear enough to recognize. Drake's voice was unmistakable, weary, irritated, paranoid. You think I don't know what they're doing? It's coordinated. All of it. Kendrick, Cole, the industry, even you. Then silence. The woman responds, "They're not ruining your legacy. You did that when you started believing you were untouchable." Gasps echoed in live reactions. Chat streams flooded with, "Is this real? No way, that's Sophie." Drake's been recorded. And then the bombshell. Drake. "They want me gone. Cool. I'll give them something they can't. Erase. A final album, no filters. Just facts. Then I'm out. Click. End of call." The video faded to black. Then one message appeared in white text. Final hour, midnight. 9:25. The truth will perform itself. The internet broke. No exaggeration. TikTok servers lagged. YouTube crashed for 3 minutes. Hashtag Final Hour trended #1 globally in under 4 minutes. And every hip-hop outlet from Complex to Rolling Stone issued emergency breakdown videos. Did Kendrick just leak a private call from Drake? Was this the beginning of Drake's retirement? What is coming on September 9th? And here's where things spiraled even harder. Drake's Instagram went completely dark. Every post deleted. Bio gone, profile pic. Black screen. Fans panicked. Some speculated a mental health crisis. Others believed this was the quiet before an atomic response. And while the world debated, J. Cole posted a photo from inside a music studio. On the wall, a whiteboard with 2 visible lines. Verse to Lamar. Outro the answer. Who is the answer? A new artist? A secret identity? Even worse. Fans zoomed into the photo and spotted a blurred album cover on the screen. Title: Burials. And then Kendrick logged into X for the first time in weeks. He posted a single GIF. A crown being tossed into fire. No caption. No context. But everyone knew. This wasn't just the end of a feud. It was the end of an era. Because Kendrick didn't just clap back. He systematically dismantled the most dominant hip-hop career of the last 15 years. Without raising his voice. Without screaming. Without begging for approval. And now, he stood at the top, not just as the better rapper, but as the final storyteller of this generation. But here's what no one saw coming. That audio file. Industry whistleblowers claimed it wasn't leaked. It was submitted to Apple Music, to Spotify, to Tidal, all under the genre, spoken word, and you know what that means? Kendrick might actually be releasing a full project, not as an album, but as a documentary in audio form, a storytelling confession about the downfall of an empire. One final twist. A billboard went up in Toronto. The next morning, plain black background. White text, he told his own story for 15 years. Now we tell the rest. 9.925. The burial begins. No logo. No artist credit, but it didn't matter. Everyone knew who was behind it, and everyone knew who it was about. Time to make your viewers go wild in the comments, smash the like button, and wait with bated breath for what's coming next. Now, after everything we just broke down, the silent shots, the strategic betrayals, the leaks, the blackouts, and the mysterious drop date looming on September 9th, we're left with one unavoidable question. Is Kendrick Lamar officially the man who ended Drake's reign? Or is Drake silently building the most devastating comeback in hip-hop history? Because, let's be real, this isn't just a battle of songs anymore. This is legacy versus legacy, and power versus purpose. And right now, Kendrick is flipping the entire industry on its head with surgical precision without even dropping a traditional album. But what if Drake's silence is the real trap? What if he has the real final hour ready to detonate? We want to hear what you think right now. Is Drake plotting a return that'll destroy Kendrick? Or did Kendrick bury him with one single move? Who do you believe is holding the crown at this moment? Drop your opinion down in the comments. Don't hold back. The world is watching. And if you've made it this far, you're part of the most intense hip-hop war of this generation. So, smash that like button if Kendrick's precision blew your mind. Hit subscribe if you're ready for part 2 of this unfolding war. And turn on that notification bell, because September 9th, we're going live when it all goes down. This is bigger than a beef. It's the rewriting of hip-hop history. And trust me, you do not want to miss what happens next. Stay locked, stay loud, and stay dangerous. We're just getting started.